Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about Love Island USA, Season 7, Episode 14. Spoiler alert. I am Victoria. I'm one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I am an attorney and a pop culture writer. Let's just start at the vote. And like this, all these people standing behind Huda after talking mad shit all day.
Yeah, I did not understand it. I thought for sure Alandria, and I thought Shelly and Iris were going to stand behind Jalen.
I just felt like they all were going to stand, like, be like, send her a message. I thought they all were going to just finally be like, enough is enough. Especially all the conversations that were happening throughout the day. Like Taylor with the
Yeah.
eye contact. I was like, at certain points, I thought they were about to tell her about herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially all of their complaining. Talking about some bruh, it's like not even enjoyable. Like this is like I felt bad for them and I was just like, they can't escape it. It's drama and it's entertaining for us, but they can't
Right.
escape it. And I can tell that it seemed like it was a lot for them. So for them to vote her to keep her in, I was very shocked. Like you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mad respect, especially for Nick, because I felt like
Mhm,
it was a display of like, I'm consistent. Like, I
mhm,
said what I said and I meant what I said.
mhm,
Austin, he hasn't been as vocal about it all
mhm,
with the guys because he doesn't really do the whole flocking thing that the rest of them do.
mhm.
Which I wouldn't really call flocking, but he doesn't. He
He's
don't
not
be hanging out with
involved.
them. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, the whole Taylor Ace Nick thing. Like, he don't be up in that. But for him to have had, he felt the way he felt, and it was clearly displayed in the way that he laughed and then the way he stood. But yeah, I was like, what the heck?
And what the hell?
I was literally,
Cause
I was
I'm like
shocked,
they deserve what they
truly.
get though. Cause she about to be Hurricane Huda all through that. Cause like first of all, Jeremiah ass is signaling I don't give a fuck no more. Like I don't know how much of that is going to be able to like be sustainable for him because he's not a backbone type of guy. He does
Yeah,
seem like this could just be. I'm sorry, but like a little like I'm not gonna use those words. There might be the weaker parts of him that
yeah,
are like just doing this in a petty way. You know what I'm saying? Like doing holding Iris's hand and like picking Iris. Like maybe he's doing it out of being a little bit petty. Um, but I don't know. He sounded like he was clear when he said his reasons. Like it's just seeming toxic over there, and I don't want that. Like, I was like, okay, that's good. That's good. Sounds like
yeah,
progress, but I don't believe it. Jeremiah, like these girls, like until I see somebody, him like being like, no, so he does that, like, no, like,
yeah.
I don't,
He's
it's
gonna
like,
seriously have to learn to like disengage, which I feel like he tries to do, but Huda is like a fly. You can't swat her away enough, low key. It's like he can say, like, I feel like he was the most clear he's ever been in this
mhm,
episode,
mhm,
and I was like, okay, kudos. You're speaking your truth and you're saying, let's just take a step back. Like, she couldn't even hear that. Like, she immediately blows up and then comes back for more. Like,
mhm.
yeah, I'm tired of watching her, quite honestly. I'm ready
Yeah.
for her to go.
No, for sure, for sure. That's why I thought tonight she was gonna go. That's why I'm like, whatever happens in this house, they get what they get. So
Yeah,
the only thing that will make this redeeming for me is for this house to tell her about herself. You get what I'm saying? For them
yeah,
to be like, girl, you are around here. Like, I need one of them moments. Like somebody really like losing, not losing it in an argument, but like losing their cool and being just straight unfiltered with her. Cause that's the only thing that will make this be worth it. It's like this whole
yeah,
house being like, look, girl, you gotta look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. Like, but yeah, definitely crash out happening that night. But yeah, so any thoughts on like all this shade they were throwing because they they really set us up like, okay, they finally have had enough. But then they vote the way they voted. So like, what was your thoughts on the shade? Because like I thought someone was funny, like Nick saying the security, like she got security alarms on Jeremiah's bed, and just the other stuff, like Shelly having that moment where she was like, they was like, why is she looking over here? And it was like, she think we looking at her, and then she was like, but we ain't, like, and it was just funny. So to me, I feel like they were all having a very real moment. That's why I thought that that vote, no question, no brainer, but.
Yeah, I mean, the producer set it up like it was for sure. If there was a vote, Huda would have been going home the way they was all acting. Like this was just that morning that y'all were saying all these things. So
Mm-hmm.
I
And
didn't
then
have too much. I thought throughout the moments it was funny, and then once we got to the vote, I'm like, oh, they finna send her ass up out of here. When they didn't, I was just like, okay, so then y'all, this is not a sisterhood because a real sister, and then my friends, you better sit me down and say, girl, you're acting a fool.
yeah, 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 for real. And like speaking to the accountability, there was like a smidge of a moment where like Sierra and Alandria was trying to like
Yeah,
talk to her, and I think Sierra said something about like her maybe isn't, you shouldn't really call him a bitch. Like that was kind of like
yeah.
a little too far. And then I think what did Alandria say? Like,
Alandria had she was like, so after you're seeing all this, like what are your
what are
non-negotiables?
your, yeah.
Because what is your out? Which was a great question, and all
It
of a
was.
sudden she don't want to talk about it.
Ah,
All of a sudden, Huda, you don't want to talk about it. You talk about it all day, every day, at any moment of the day. You will come and interrupt someone's conversation to talk about your mess.
right.
But the moment
Right.
you are held to the fire, it's I don't want to talk about it. What did she tell Sierra? I was just crashing out. Like,
Yeah, I couldn't even believe that. I was like, "This is a child. Like, this is a
yeah,
child." I hate to. I've been calling all these people child children, but I'm like, "This is a child. Like, it's a teenager. You were crashing. I was just crashing out. Rewind that. That's not an actual valid excuse. Like,
mm-mm.
rewind that back. Like,
Yeah,
you was just crashing out. You mean acting a plum ass fool? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
what are we talking about? No, you don't just get a pass for things like that. It's like maybe you get one crash out, like you get one, and it should be something like over something very like big.
Yes.
You have every day
You
is
crashing
something.
out over something that's outside of Jeremiah's control. You
Yeah,
crashing out because this man is sleeping in the bed next to the person he is coupled up with.
yeah. I
You
guess
crashing out because this man went on a date.
because he pulling out a chair.
Because
It
he walking his couple down from the stairs.
Yeah. But it is what it is. But yeah, I clocked that. I was like, oh my god, not her, not like just immediately shutting down the accountability
Yeah.
conversation, because they, to their credit, they were trying to start something, but she shut
Yeah.
that thing down. She was like, guys, I don't want to really talk about it now. And then it was funny. The only other thing I'll say about this is it was funny when she was first coming down there. I can't remember what happened. I think it was after the oh yeah, make me like you comment. When she brought up that like make me like you comment or whatever, and she was over there spazzing out about it, like everybody just slowly, all the people, all the people in the village, just slowly getting up, leaving, and then
Yes.
ultimately she was there. I think with like 2, 3 people or something like that. But like, and Taylor was the one stuck there, I think, with her. But I was just like, girl, this is telling. People are getting up and walking away. Like,
Yes. Or they're silent. They don't even want to engage with you. And I
yeah.
think was it Taylor who ended up telling Jeremiah, yeah, she was calling you a bitch again and da 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 da, and he was like, again. So I think ultimately that's what did her in, and that's why Jeremiah was like, bro, I'm not about to keep dealing with this. I like I said in the last episode, I don't know too many men who gonna allow a woman to just call you a bitch to their face. Like that is no,
Yeah.
no. Especially on a black man.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
any. That's like saying your mama. Okay, them is fighting words.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I remember in the chat yesterday, I was I was like, I know Jeremiah mama somewhere with her hand on the Bible, praying for her son's deliverance from this woman. If I know anything about black women, they're a praying group of women, and so
Okay,
I know she's somewhere like, Father,
please
please, like,
send your angels down
I
on
know
my son ASAP. Okay.
ASAP. out here like every night. I know she
Yeah.
praying because like what in the world? Because he come from a good home. He probably come from a too
Yes.
good home. Like that's probably why he
Yes.
like little too soft.
Right,
Like
right,
and
right,
like
right, right.
love
Mom
too
and
much.
dad was making
Not
all
too
them
much, but
decisions over there. They was
what'd you say? What'd you
I said
say?
mom and dad was making all them decisions over there.
Oh yeah, they probably like, but he just seemed like he came from a home that didn't, probably not a lot of trauma. He probably, but it produces its
Yes.
own, sort of shortcomings when you maybe are pampered too much or you're not like, required to, go through some stuff, get you a little
Yeah, to
backbone in
make
there.
hard decisions. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's definitely going to learn a lot from this, which is why I give Jeremiah so much more grace than I'm going
right.
to give to
Hmm.
Huda, because despite this, Jeremiah is not just acting out of character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, he's not acting in a way that's just that just makes people just get the
yeah,
ick. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And one more thing I did want to bring up when we was talking about Alandria and Sierra trying to hold her accountable, it goes back to what I said. You can't hold her hand. You can't hold Huda's hand, baby. She's gonna snatch it away like a toddler. And
hmm
that's exactly what she did. She had that makeup. I don't want to talk about it right now. That's exactly what she did. And so I felt like that vote was the biggest display of accountability they could have given her. Because
yeah,
then it would have been have to been a sit down in that 30 minutes she had to pack up and say, look,
hmm
sis, you need to go home, hug your daughter, and then go straight to the therapy room. Like,
hmm
you got some things to work on.
hmm And it's funny because the way the producers like mess, and so I think they
Yeah.
want to keep Huda on probably as long as they can. But when Huda leaves, though, you have to know it is going to be a very dramatic exit. Like it is
Yeah.
going to be like they're gonna set it up for like either America vote off the person you think should go. Like when they're ready to have her be off the show, it's gonna be like a boom, like a very dramatic exit. I just personally think, and very like clear, like bomb in her face. So before we get into like the recoupling and everything like that, like Je- Huda and Jeremiah, like their saga just like continues throughout this whole episode. Like they were showing other couple stuff, but they was, that was the juicy meat. And they had a couple different conversations throughout. There was the one in the beginning where it was like the continuation of what ended at the last episode. There was the one where he had the epiphany and to be friends and yada yada yada, and then the crash out after that. And then there was just like the ending of it all with like him picking Iris and like, all whatever came of that and like his decisions to be like, I'm gonna hold her hand. I'm gonna do this. Like he seemed like he was like, I'm intentionally like out this piece.
Mm-hmm.
So any thoughts on any of these different conversations? Because like I was surprised that the conversations even happened because I was like, Jeremiah, we still barking up this tree. Okay. All right. Some people.
Well, that first conversation they had where it's picking up from episode 13,
Hmm.
in that conversation, he was talking about expectations. He was saying like I would never call you out your name. And when
Hmm.
she said, "Really?" I was just like, that's a sign, Jeremiah. That's a sign.
Hmm.
She's used to being called out of her name, so it's gonna come out of her tongue very quickly. She's used to this,
Hmm.
this back and forth. But yeah, in that conversation, I was just like, he was trying his hardest to reaffirm her, and she just wasn't listening. She just kept like catastrophizing everything he was saying and going back to, well, I'm really hurt. Like, you really broke my heart, and saying these very overly dramatic things, taking things to where like they have no place to be. You still
Yeah.
slept in the bed with her, and why would you do this? And you really, it was just, I was exhausted in the first 5 minutes listening to that girl, because I can only imagine how Jeremiah felt having to sit there.
Yeah, and it's like she acts like just because she feels something that it's his responsibility to address it, and she doesn't realize that's where self-regulation comes in because some of these feelings are not rational.
Yes,
And
they're
so
not
like
facts.
you gotta check that,
Yeah.
because it's like not rational. So it's your job to check how keep him in check. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she's looking to him to do stuff that she should be doing first of all, and But it's like the fact
Yeah,
that she
and
denies the feelings is
yeah.
lets me know she does not capable of regulating them, you know, because they're just
Yeah,
all the
she's
way
not.
in the deep end anyway.
Right.
But
And he even mentioned like you don't think there's no possible way that maybe America is actually seeing how you're reacting and they find that to be the part of this toxic cycle. So you
yeah,
think America hates me?
and he was just
Not even
like,
a pause to say like, well, why would you think that they would feel that way, or what have I done? Like, not even a reach for accountability or
mm,
for showing up in this partnership to say like, well, what can I do better, even
mhm,
if you may feel like in this moment you haven't done anything wrong.
mhm,
You still have to be able to check in with your partner and say like,
mhm,
is there anything that I'm doing that's making you feel a certain way? And then in this you have the larger landscape where you can now even ask, well, is there anything that I'm doing that would make America feel this way to
mhm,
want to break us up? Because they
mhm,
didn't do it to any of the other stronger couples or day one
mhm,
couples.
mhm,
And she's just, well, besides Taylor and Alandria, but we knew that was coming
mhm,
because she liked country men.
mhm.
But she just, maybe, that's going to be a hard one to crack. It's
Yeah,
a hard one to crack.
and it's interesting because it's like I could see Jeremiah in real time in that conversation. Like it's almost like he's being gaslit, but so I'm not the person. I'm not the psychologist, so I don't know gaslighting. But I do know that like what was happening on his side of it seemed like he was almost it's almost hard for him to trust his own brain and what he's
Yes.
thinking and what he sees in her because of the way she's acting, that she has
Yeah.
standards, she's standing so firmly in the delusion that he's like, am I tripping? Like,
Yeah, because he even made that he even made a big statement. He was like, so that means I'm not a man? Like, because I didn't come and comfort you or make you the breakfast or whatever that conversation was. It was when she was like, any other man, all the other guys in here would have went to their girl. And you didn't come to me. And he was like, so that means I'm not a man. And you, in that moment, I think I'm with you. Like, I was seeing that her words really cut deep for him at
mm,
points. And it's hard for him to process and try and rationalize. No matter how much he's trying, it's like he's in this space of just like fighting with himself. It's
yeah.
he in the boxing ring, like which one is supposed to come forward? Which one am I, who has to respond here to Huda? Like which one?
Like it's like I think that he's not firm enough in who he is and like what he
Yeah.
thinks is reality and what is of order, like common sense. Like he not firm in it enough that her delusion is like making him be like, I don't know, like maybe,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it's because he wants to
Literally.
believe that she is not crazy. You know, he wants to,
Yeah.
and so he's like giving her words. He's trying to give her words validity, and
Right.
it's just a losing battle. And I think that's
Yeah.
how so many relationships like get into that space of like, you know, it's like hard for somebody to see clearly because it's like you
Mm-hmm.
really do see this person as like they gotta be normal and maybe I'm
Yeah.
tripping, you know. So there's that. But yeah, I was just really surprised at like his approaches in terms of pulling her. Like the idea of being friends first, cool, whatever. I just felt like at a certain point, don't you recognize y'all a little too far gone. Like it's a
Yeah.
little bit much, you know? It's
Yeah.
like maybe I need some healthy distance. Like let's try that. It's
Mm-hmm.
the epiphany. Some healthy distance, no
Mm-hmm.
cordial distance, but healthy
Yes.
distance. I think that would go well for them right now. But
And all she heard was,
oh yeah, that
no, you're supposed to make me like you.
yeah.
Like, you don't care to make me like you. Huda has this very odd way of distorting reality and like distorting statements.
Mm,
She will leave out 10 words in what she said. She'll leave out the context. And
mhm.
she will, that little brain of hers, the
Mhm.
emotional brain is coming and it is coloring her perspective like crazy. I mean, the alarm bells go off instantly, and it's whatever is going to feed the delusion. It's like there's a defense mechanism that she has that's on alert, like gun loaded, every single time somebody says something to her. And she is going to grasp onto whatever words she can use to formulate a story that fits. She is not the problem, that
Hmm.
fits. The other person is wrong, that fits. She is the victim. And it's really scary.
Hmm.
It's very scary.
Yeah, because it's like there's a lot of people walking around like that in everyday life, and they don't have a TV show to expose them to themselves, but they
Yeah.
just go around thinking that, whoever else is the problem. And I think it also is a little bit, not to be controversial, but I think there's a little bit of a culture of like, um, it's become very like popular in our circles with each other as women to be like, yes, that man is tripping, yes, you're right, you deserve this, and he needs to do this and this and this and that. And I totally agree with the energy. To be honest, I'm not trying to say that that's not an energy we should have, but in the right context. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Mm-hmm.
that's for somebody who is really like dogging out a woman, right? There are time periods where, yes, you do need to show up and say, F him. You're the prize. This is that. There's times for that. You know what I mean? Because there could be a dog, and you have to realize that he's not even on your level. Like there's time for that. But it's just become anytime a man upsets you, that seems to be like the only way to talk about it. Like the way Hannah's approaching her, it's just like is that the only way you know how to support her is to dog the man?
I do agree with you there. And it goes back to when I was saying, like, nobody was thinking about how Jeremiah potentially was feeling in that moment, except for Iris. Iris went over and was like, how are you feeling? Da, 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 da. Like, because he was also alone in that moment. So to take that moment and say, like, only Huda needed something, and therefore, because Jeremiah did not provide it, it now means that he ain't shit, wasn't fair. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't fair. They should have been able to go to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in that culture of like men ain't shit, I think it devalues a man's emotional place. Like it devalues his the space that he needs to have someone to go to in the relationship. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, like I hear what you're saying. Like I'm trying to settle how I feel about Jeremiah's feelings in all of this
Yeah.
because I feel like Jeremiah should have said something to her. Like I did feel like that was something, but I also feel like that he did have a moment of like betrayal with his friends, and he's getting blindsided by America too. Um, and so I do think like, and this might be a little bit like, I don't know if it's sexist or what, but I do think in some ways I expect my partner to attend to my feelings. I do expect them to attend to my feelings like as best they can first. I'm like, I said
I
all
hear
that,
you.
just said that.
Yeah.
But I do kind of like, there's something about how I feel like men are set up a little bit, like built. I think they're built a little bit. I'm not trying to say like not that they don't have emotions, because I do think they have emotions, and I think that we as
Mhm.
women are the people who see those emotions, the like closest, clearest, most consistently. But I think there's something about the way they're built and they're set up, like certain things roll off them a little bit. Like they're more big, big picture. We trip on very little, not little things, but we just see the nuance and the details. And so I feel like sometimes it can feel like death by a thousand cuts for us, and for them, it's like they may not feel it until it's that big gash, or they may not like
Yeah.
acknowledge it, or have or need support.
I do agree that women, like we see, what do you say, death by a million cuts, and men a lot of times they see the bigger picture. I still think though that creates an environment for men to not have a place to go with their emotions because they are expected to always like come and like make sure we're okay. And yes, that is nice. Like I want my man to make sure
Mhm.
I'm okay, but I also don't want him to feel like because he always has to make sure I'm okay that he never has a space to like express how he's feeling because
Mhm.
of how it might make me feel. And I
Mhm.
feel like Huda is that type of person, right? Like
Yeah.
it's hard. It would be very difficult, I think, for Jeremiah to say how he truly. I mean, he tried. He can't say
Mhm.
how he truly feels without Huda taking it and making it
Mhm.
something else. And so over time, and just over the past couple of days that they have been coupled up, like even at like the smaller conflicts, Jeremiah has not had a space to say like this is how I feel, and then it pushes you into a place where you just want to leave or you
Mhm.
freeze, which is
Mhm.
what he said, right? Or what
Mhm.
he did in this episode, which was, you know what, I'm done. Like I'm done. I don't even want to have a conversation about it. Like I'm just done. I'm
Yeah.
not about to pick you so that we can keep continuing this toxic cycle.
Yeah. I mean, I think like before we get off of them, two things. I feel like one, Jeremiah is a guy who is like, people be like, you can't make a man. Like if he,
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say he's not a man. I'm not trying to say that. But I have consistently say like there's something about him that's childlike, or there's something like about him that is like not like he needs leading or something like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like he would be frustrating for a normal woman a little bit, I think, to be not I think he
Yeah,
would
no,
be.
I feel you because I don't think he has the capacity to like disarm a woman. Like if Iris was upset, I don't think he could disarm Iris. Ace could disarm Iris.
Mhm, mhm,
I don't think Jeremiah could disarm Iris. I think Iris can disarm Jeremiah. It's like
mhm,
Shelly can disarm Austin. Like these men are not
mhm,
emotionally mature enough to
mhm,
navigate their feelings and someone else's feelings
mhm.
and create like a reciprocal environment for
Yeah.
sure.
And so like he needs somebody who's going to be like a mothering sort of energy. And Huda
Yeah.
is that. So they're matching that way, but she's just like on a 10, and it
Yeah.
just doesn't fit. So that was one thing I wanted to say. But then the second thing was when that comment about I'm not trying to make you like me. It's like they I think we all could maybe see in real time that they're having two different conversations. You know what I mean? What she hears when he says that is, oh, you don't care about how I feel about you. Like that's what she literally hears. Like when he
Yeah.
says that you don't care if I like you or not. You don't care if I'm enjoying this side of the equation. You're just here to reap the benefits of being with the fabulous Huda. And what he is actually saying is that I'm not trying to be like a monkey putting on a circus show for you and like be
Right.
like, do you like me now? Do you like me now? You know what I mean? Like it's he's saying I'm not here to put on any type of for you anything for your love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Either you see me, you value what I bring, and you like that because of who I am, or you don't. Like I'm not trying to
Right.
put on and make you feel any type of way. And so they're having like literally two different conversations, and
Mhm.
it just highlights how like Huda does not have like she does not it's like she hears it, it goes in this brain and it does something, and then it comes out like phew, like she doesn't
Yeah.
take time to process and hear what she's saying. She just reacts like there's like no filter time between
Yeah.
hearing something and process. Like there's no processing. It's just immediate reaction, and it's always like kind of a wrong read of it. Like she's
Yeah.
always immediately saying something like he said he's using Iris to win the show, and it's like he didn't say that, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that you wanted to talk about with regard to them. I guess maybe we can move into their the recoupling
Yeah.
situation
Let's go
as
into
we
the
go
recoupling.
into all the recouplings. But I was surprised he picked Iris.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna pick Huda because I thought he was too scared, to be honest, to pick.
Yeah, yeah. Girl, there's a bunch of watch parties going on in bars and stuff. I said I need to find me one over here. But the way everybody and every single one was jumping for joy, screaming when that man picked Iris and Iris's door opened up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Everybody was happy. Everybody was Austin. I was Austin. I'm not gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie.
Yeah, no, Austin, he got a little bit of something to him when he like, cause he's not a punk, you know what I mean? Like he does
Yeah.
have a little bit of a backbone, a little bit in him,
Mhm.
but cause he kind of says his piece, but I think it's more about morality. I think Austin has like a little bit of a high morality meter. I hate to say that about this MAGA man, but
Right.
but he seems to be like, this is just right or this is just wrong. And like, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. Like, I'm glad he's not with her, but he don't have a like when it's discretionary, like you could be
Right,
with
right,
Shelly or
right,
you could
right.
he don't have like enough of a gumption to do the difficult thing during those moments. So that's that. But yeah. Do we want to go to the next? Who was the next couple that we had? Well, we can talk about Austin and Amaya since we're on Austin.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Their little moment they had on the balcony, I was like, "Oh, this was cute. This was cute." I love how she said Leo and leopard or whatever her little line
Oh,
was,
yeah,
and
that
when he
leopard.
moved the bench, and she was like, "Oh, you're so strong."
Yeah, Maya was laying it on him. She was
Yeah,
like,
she was.
sir, you're the one that I can like.
Yes,
'Cause, realistically, who else? Nobody else is checking for my. And I'm not even saying it like she's just laid her eyes into him because no one else is checking on her. Like they had the connection in the beginning. I thought that if Austin had gone before Ace, that Austin would have picked Amaya. And like I said,
yeah,
I feel like none of her crazy side would have come out. Her and Austin just would have been whatever. But she might have been like she might have brought maybe this is what it needs to happen because if she might have been like still checking for Ace and not have closed that door completely because she was like looking over and then Austin would have felt deflated again. Here's another woman I'm losing to Ace. So maybe she needed that, get Ace out of her system first, and then
yeah.
she knows she can settle on like exploring this option with him. So I'm not mad at the way they came to be together.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that maybe the producers like left some of their storyline out because I felt like they gave us what they gave us in this episode so that the recoupling made sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But because they had that moment when she first came in, I was like, maybe they have had more conversations and
mm-hmm.
have actually developed a connection and we just haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Because
to me.
I mean, we don't really see much of anybody for real, for real. We ain't seen much of Sierra and Nick lately. I mean, because we've only been
Yeah,
watching Huda and Jeremiah. This has become the Huda and Jeremiah show.
for
So,
sure, for sure. Yeah. Anything else on them? Like Austin
no,
and
I'm
Amaya.
excited to see where they go. I feel like in the real world, of course, it's not going to work. So,
I wonder if it's gonna come
this is
up
a Dominican woman. So
but it
we'll
depends on
see.
what side she swing, on because sometimes
Yeah,
you especially like in the Dominican Republic, like there has been a lot of history in the past, them sharing the island with Haiti basically and a lot of, you know, colorism. I don't know. So not
yeah,
trying to put that on her. I don't know. But you don't know just because somebody's like one
yeah. This is true.
complexion that they're gonna be like she might be like, yeah, I'm MAGA, like I don't know.
Yeah, yeah,
There's
yeah. This is true.
but if she's not,
When she's
she seems
yeah,
like she'll be like, what? Like she gonna
yeah.
release him a new one. And he'll be like, maybe I'm
Yes.
not. I don't know. Maybe I'm not.
Right,
You
right,
convinced
right,
me.
right.
I
Yeah.
see. I see. He
This
gonna be
experience might flip Austin though. I can see it. He seems like a perspective guy. So we will
he,
see.
easily
We
led
will
is
see.
what I say.
Yes.
That's what he seems.
Yeah.
He seems to be like
He is
he
easily led. He is easily led. And so he might be easily led by Amaya if that's the case. I was cracking up though when Amaya was like, "Oh, so you're just American."
yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. Okay, Landria and Taylor. Thoughts.
This was another one. I said, okay, maybe we are missing something. I don't know. Like if we go back to Serena and Cordell last season,
Mhm.
they were very much so a slow burn,
Mhm.
and it was. I feel like a little bit the way they were moving was a little bit more acceptable because the slow burn was on her part. And Serena wasn't
Mm-hmm.
100% sure if she was attracted to him. And so there wasn't really like, if anything, people were like rooting for them because they were like, oh, they're moving slow. Like this might be something. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, she would kind of go in and then pull back.
Mm-hmm.
She would say, like, I think we're just friends. And then she'll be like, no, but I actually like him.
Mm-hmm.
So when they recoupled, that's what I thought about. And I was like, well, maybe this isn't like the worst thing in the world. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe there is something else going on behind the scenes that we just aren't seeing.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, like
but
yeah.
yeah, that's just me being optimistic, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Like because I still am not gonna forget that initial photo booth scene. I'm not gonna forget you having to tell a man to kiss you, to touch your leg, to give you a hug. Uh,
Yeah, like
yeah,
I at first didn't realize that she actually liked him like she did. Like I was like, "Are you just scared to be like over there with Jalen? Like, don't worry. Like, just embrace it, girl. You ain't gotta, stay in the safety of Taylor." But the more and more, like, especially not even the more and more, just this episode, I just was like, okay, she doesn't want to be with Jalen. She wants to be with Taylor.
yeah,
So she's the one gotta if she I don't want to be like, oh, if she like it, I love it, because that can be like sort of dismissive. It's not that, but it's more like it's if that's what she wants, then that's what she wants, and that's it is what it is.
yeah,
My concern in that dynamic is always with Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Like if
yeah,
Taylor was 10 toes down for her in the sense of like when he came in, he just like, oh my God, she is just like so beautiful. She's so this. If he came in and was like very, very like sure of her, but he was like nervous, or if he was like sure about her and he was like, still not a big buff guy, like I would be riding for him, because it's like the one thing that a man got to be about a woman is sure.
yeah,
When he is iffy, like, and he, I don't know, like, it's not, to me, it's not gonna last. So I don't know, like, unless he just, I don't understand. Unless he just like, I don't understand. Like,
yeah,
men don't typically grow in attraction for a woman. They don't typically like, yeah. So when she talks about, she says something like, men don't move like this usually, and I'm like, because when they're interested, they show it. You know what I'm saying? They show it.
yeah,
And you've had to drag everything out of him. And so I'm just concerned about the Taylor of it all. I feel like if Alandria wants that, then that's Alandria's choice. But the Taylor of it all, is he actually interested in her, or is he trying to win this money? Is he actually interested in her, or is he know that that's his only right now interest? Like if he recoupled, like if she didn't choose him and she chose Jalen, like if it was him and Huda last night, I'm like, who that would have been? I don't know.
right.
But the way they stood behind Huda, it might have been him. But I can't. But it would have been. I think he would have stayed. Just
Yeah, I did think so too.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he
he would
definitely
have
would have
stayed.
stayed. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm saying like it could have, it just could be anything, and I don't think he would be recoupled with anybody personally. No one's expressed a lot of interest in him.
Mhm.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
They give me good
I did
friendship.
see clips.
They seem like they have a good friendship.
Yeah, agreed. I did see clips from Belle her exit interviews.
Hmm.
And she said that her and Taylor had a connection.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
Um
she gone now.
yeah, she got it, but I'm just saying in terms of like if
And
that's
it's
his
showing it.
type,
Hmm.
and he was showing interest,
Hmm.
and it was clear they had a connection. Like, what does that mean for Alondria?
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. I,
yeah,
I'm just. We'll see. Time will tell.
yeah,
Are we? Do you have anything else on them, or okay? So
no.
Shelly and Ace thoughts, because I was
I'm not
like,
gonna lie. I was like, okay, finally, child. I am not gonna lie. I'm guilty. I'm guilty. Oh, I am a Shelly and Ace stan. I don't know. When he gave her that kiss, his little speech, I said, okay. Ace might be able to pull me too, honey.
Not you. Like it is an interesting thing. Like I was saying in the chat earlier how like Ace is a very confident man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's a confident man,
And
he's
them
funny.
hard to find. Them, I'm sorry, but it's hard to find.
I know. You sitting here like you look at them like all of them on there and the confident men I would say are Ace and Nick.
Yeah. And I think they're the younger ones. I think they're younger than everybody else.
I don't know. You
I need to
know,
go double check that, but I feel like I think Ace is the youngest.
I know somebody said like he 22 running the army
Running,
running the
yeah,
house like a navy
running
or
like a
something.
navy. Yes.
Yeah, I look that and I was saying in the chat like that it's multiple things can be true at once. Like I do think Ace is a manipulator. I do think he is a player. I do also think he's very charming. Like and not in a I'm not trying to say it as a sleazy thing, but in a like who doesn't want a charming person? You just don't want it to be
Yeah.
also coupled with a manipulator,
Right. Right.
a
Right.
manipulative person.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's charming. He is funny, he is confident. You know what I'm saying? That's a very important part of manhood is being confident and being like God having a backbone, like having a backbone. And he'll go toe to toe with anybody about what he believe in personally. And women love that. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised he pulls the way he pulls. You know what I'm saying? So on the Shelly Ace thing, I'm okay if he acts right.
Yeah.
'Cause I believe in growth for people. If he acts right, if he disciplines himself to be like, all right, I'm gonna be with Shelly. But if another person walks out here and he flip or he do some, I'm exploring, I'm trying to.
Yes. Yeah, it would be over for me. He wouldn't get no more chances for me if he did that. I
Girl, I'm gonna have to
promise.
do you
But this time,
like I do the rest of them. I when
right, you'll
I
believe
gotta see it.
it.
I gotta see it. I gotta see
I
it.
promise. This time, though, this time I am excited to see what Ace is like in a couple. We haven't seen it. We haven't
Yeah,
seen it. So
yeah.
we shall see. He has been creative. I mean, it's not much they can do in the villa.
Yeah, he's been
So
creative for sure. Like the ping pong and pancakes, like Ace is creative. It's gonna be a fun time with him. The issue is not whether they got a good vibe. They got a good vibe. The issue is can
yeah.
Ace discipline himself enough to be the man that Shelly needs him to be. Like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
And only Ace knows the answer to that question. You know what I'm saying? But the track record hasn't looked great. But I'm not saying it can't happen. I do believe in growth, and I do believe that at a certain point, if a man values the woman enough and he's grown, he's at a level of maturity enough, then behavior changes can occur. But
Yeah.
that's on him, and that's on him. But yeah, it was cute. I ain't gonna lie.
Yes. Yep.
But I'm rooting for them. I'm for sure rooting
Yeah.
for Ace and Shelly right now. Like are they my top? They might be my top. Like I like not Bella, Sierra and Nick, but I don't like you're right that we haven't seen a lot of them lately. But
Yeah.
I guess we can transition into the returning couples who picked each other again. So like Nick and Sierra. Any thoughts?
No thoughts on them, and no thoughts on Hannah and Pepe. Um,
um,
it was funny though when they were getting dressed, and I don't know what Sierra said. Oh, I think Sierra said something like, "I hope it's a calm night," and Hannah was like, "I hope it's a little drama." I thought that was funny. Hannah
yeah,
is she's a wild one.
for sure, for sure. But yeah, I don't any other thoughts on the episode or like
Mm-mm, no, just shout out to my boy Jeremiah. We rooting for you if you ever see this. We
time.
rooting for your healing and your growth, my guy. Yeah, that's it for real. That's it. I'm rooting for
Yeah.
Huda's growth too. To be quite honest, that's somebody I would like really. I would say a prayer for Huda. Like, girl,
My God,
we
my
got to
God.
get this
Those
under
things you
wraps.
pray for.
This
Yeah.
is not healthy functioning, girl. We got to get this together.
Yeah, no. I need her to be off the show. Like for a second, I thought the vote was going to be on her. Like
Yeah,
I think we all did, right? And the thought came to me for a flash second. I was like, is Hood right now at home watching it with the rest of us? But she on an NDA,
Yeah,
like so she can't pop up on Twitter and TikTok. But like she's still in the villa.
she's
She is
still
still in the
there.
villa. So until next time, make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you like, subscribe. Also, join our chat, DM us on Instagram. It is popping every day. These ladies are funny. They're hilarious. These women are
Yes, yes,
hilarious. So it's super fun. It's fun, especially
yeah,
for those of us who love watching the show. You gotta come join us. We're having fun.
yes. Lots of
But all right, until
fun.
next time. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.